This is Scott Callahan from The Aesthetic Dish, featuring episode 2 about lips, celebrities, and competition. And today I am so excited because I have a special guest for you guys, someone that is well known through the industry, known to be the #1 lip injector in the United States. I have Pawnta Abrahami here today to speak to you. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So with you today, we have your assistant, Natalie Farahani, and we have Monique Souza, who is a nurse injector at Dolce Vita.
Yay.
Pawnta, you've been a nurse for 18 years and in this industry for 18 years, as well as you're now finishing up your nurse practitioner license. You've been at Monarchy Med Spa. You've become a very well-known injector. How did you become so big? Like, how did Pawnta become Pawnta?
So how did Pawnta become Pawnta? I treat every patient in my chair like they're my sister or mom. And that's how it started. If you're passionate about your work, I think you will succeed in anything that you're passionate with. So I think that's key. A lot of these in the aesthetic industry, a lot of nurses nowadays go in because, you know, they think they're going to become popular overnight, or they're not really passionate about their work. And if you have the passion and the drive, I think you will become successful in anything you do, not just aesthetics.
So Monique, you again as a new nurse, you have followed all kinds of injectors throughout Instagram, and there are so many to follow. But Pawnta, you know, is a big one, and it's one of the first ones you ever followed.
100%.
Now,
yeah.
why do you think Pawnta was well known? What was it that drew you to following her on her page?
I really think it's just the actual quality of her work. Like today I got to see her inject, and I was like fangirling the entire time because of the quality of her work. The way she treats and the way she talks to every patient that we saw today, it's kind of like what I see on her Instagram. It's just so petite and like minor work that just makes such a huge difference. So she wasn't just throwing all of like the problems and the things that they need. It was just, you know, if we do this, there's a little bit of shadowing here, and that's really what I saw.
Do you think this is the first time that you've actually seen someone in action who holds up to their Instagram account?
Yeah,
for
sure.
Yeah, that's the surprise for me too. When I met Pawnta, she's just an animal. She goes in and she is like works like nonstop, and basically the outcomes though were so different than the outcomes you see in other injectors.
Exactly.
And you know, Natalie, you're right there with her every day as her assist. How does that work between you, and how does that chemistry between an injector and assistant work?
All of the above. I mean, genuine honesty, loyalty. I mean, yeah, we talk about everything. I've learned so much from her, so it bounces off to me watching her work and just seeing her create every day. I learn something new every day. You know, as much as I've been with her for almost 7 years, I'm still learning from her, which is, I mean, she's my biggest mentor.
Aww, thanks.
So let's get to the dirt, ladies. What the audience wants to know out there are the celebrities that you're injecting, who they are, what they do, and all of that. Now, I know you can't answer those questions, but I'll ask it differently. Why is it that celebrities today are denouncing their procedures? Why is it that a lot of these celebrities are, you know, getting reversals of previous filler? What do you think the answer is, Pawnta?
I feel like over time you have to reverse the fillers, and again, trends. A lot of them are following Instagram trends.
Pawnta, with all these celebrity patients, how many patients that are true high-profile celebrities are paying versus not paying?
Everybody pays. As many celebrities she sees, as many people she's touched in the past 18 years, everybody has to pay. And
we don't do anything.
Nothing is free in life.
Natalie, you're telling me like high-profile people like, you know, Kylie Jenner or anyone publicly that's already been stated, those people pay 100%?
Well, Kylie Jenner, we didn't even ask her to post. The night that she posted, it was like at 8 p.m.
Yep.
and all of a sudden I see my phone blowing up at 8 p.m. at night, and I just had a baby. And it was the night before that I did her lips, and she, out of nowhere, she just posted for me, "Thank you, Pawnta, for coming through," on her page.
So this is just
without any
organic.
asking, without any organization for it,
there's
without
no request for anything,
nothing.
just
I
out
never
of the
asked
blue.
anyone.
Most people that are high profile that come in are referred by somebody
By
else,
others.
and they know that they have to pay some part of it, and in return for a post. If not, they still don't want to
Yeah, if
post.
they come into the office,
They
it's
still have to
like
pay.
What happened, you know, when Kylie came in, this happened the night after she posted, and we didn't ask anything about that.
With the celebrities that you're seeing now, what are the most popular celebrity treatments that you're getting on a daily basis?
Lips, we do a lot of PRP, mid facelift, threads.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When did threads become real popular for you?
About 4 years ago.
Mhm.
Yeah, now we do it for every patient almost. It's you know, when they do fillers or when they're doing lips, we always offer, educate them, and 8 out of 10 they do it.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even really know about them, or aren't really that educated about it.
Are there procedures or treatments that you guys offer, since you are in such an exclusive place at Montague Med Spa, that are just so unique to you that no one else in Beverly Hills has?
That's a secret.
So there is some secret menu, right? Like, you go to Starbucks and there's a secret menu?
Yes.
Is there a secret menu at Montague Med Spa?
Secret menu
Exactly.
for lips, secret menu for threads.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. The advantage of Miracu is that, they have a great utility thread with the Forte thread, similar to the Midfine. They have the biggest lifting thread of the elastic line. They have the mesh thread, which is, unique in its own right, great for nasolabial lines, great for tear troughs, great for glabellas. And then another important thing is that Benev is a wonderful company to work with a wide portfolio. So it's not just a thread company, but it's a company that has so much more to offer, like the needles, the cannulas, the lasers, and all the education and training. So as many people feel, I'm sure, it's about the working with a company that you love. Benev is a great company to work with, and so that's how I decided to work with them. You're known for a lot of things, but one of the things I think you're most well known for is lips. Now, when I do my own top 5, right, I always put you at my number 1. But I always have my Erica Berry, I always have Dolce Mascarinas, I always have 2 other people in there, like Brianna Latour, and then maybe one other person, kind of fluctuates. But if you look at all 5 of you, the commonality between them all is that the lips look absolutely phenomenal. And they have beautiful margins, beautiful ratios, and don't look overdone and are very natural. When you compare yourself to other injectors, which I know is hard to do, can you distinguish your lips versus someone else's lips at that top 5? Do you think you guys are more similar, or are there very distinguishing factors between the 5 of you?
Very distinctive.
Yeah, I think there's a difference for sure. I could definitely tell if I've done someone's lips before. I can't pinpoint what, but there's definitely a difference for sure.
Yeah. So there's a look. There's a specific Pawnta look that you can recognize, right?
Yes.
Now, Is it because is there something like I don't know, as basic as more horizontal injections or more vertical injections?
More heightening instead of projection.
More
yeah,
heightening.
sure.
Got
yeah,
it.
and
Okay.
then also the products that are used for different patients. I don't use the same product for everyone.
I think the main thing is the heightening versus projection that a lot of people, I feel like.
Yeah, I think that's my signature.
Yeah.
Is to heighten, not project.
Someone who is such a top injector like yourself, who does Pawnta get injected by?
Nobody. She doesn't get injections.
You do it all yourself.
I
No.
do my own lips if it's time to do my lips.
But
yeah,
that's
and
it.
How about like threads?
I'll have one of the nurses that has shadowed me to do my lips sometimes.
Yeah.
Threads also I'll have the trainer or someone that has shadowed me do. But yeah, I don't
But you
use
don't,
much filler.
yeah, she doesn't really do much work.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that because I'm her assistant. I'm being brutally honest.
I have a feeling you would actually tell us the truth.
Yeah, no, I would.
Yeah. Yeah. So, besides lips, we talked today about butt augmentations, and we talked about Sculptra and Radius. Do you do a lot of those procedures? Are celebrities still seeking like that juicy butt? You know, remember the pose in the magazines with I think it was Kim Kardashian, where there was like a champagne, drink on her butt because it was so flat. Like, are we moving away from that? Are we? Where are we in
We
terms
are,
of butt
but we were
augmentations?
never a BBL. Or with Sculptra, you could never get that BBL result.
Mhm.
It was always more of correction or more of a little volume. If someone doesn't have enough fat and they don't want to do the BBL, then they'll go with the Sculptra. But it's more of a natural look versus the BBL look.
Right. Do you let's say in your butts, are you doing more, let's say, cellulite improvement or hip dip correction than you are for just pure size? Because those people that
Yes,
want
it's
size
more
are looking for
correct-
BBLs, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All of
so
the
again,
above.
it goes back to educating the patient and telling them that, this is not going to be a BBL and it's actually more expensive than a BBL. And once they're educated, and then they could decide on if they want to go ahead with the treatment.
In your facility, how many injectors work with you?
We have 3 injectors.
3 injectors. And did those injectors get trained by you?
No, they get trained obviously from other people, but yeah, they do shadow me too. Yes.
Okay. So you have them do some training with you, some outside
Yes.
training.
We're always training at Montague Meds, but outside and
Really is the mantra of Benev is that we want to make sure that our customers are successful with what they do, have a good quality product, but are supported every step of the way, which is unusual in our industry.
The thing that I love about American Benev is that they have really changed their campaigning of their marketing materials and of their education. They're working hard on their videos in order so that there's a video library for providers to look at. This resources for the provider is what's going to change the provider's ability to understand and to have better communication with their patients. Okay, so I just want to welcome, this is Jessica Rhee Henderson, and she's a top injector from New Jersey who's a top 100 injector, big trainer for multiple companies. Thank you and welcome to our show, The Aesthetic Dish.
Of course. Happy to be here. Good to see you guys.
So Jessica, tell us quickly about your place and what type of practice you have in New Jersey.
So I own an aesthetics practice. We have 4 injectors. We have 2 estheticians. My space is about 5,000 square feet. And it's a high volume, high pace, practice where we try to do everything 100% amazing at every time and every second. So, there's a lot going on here, but we mainly only do injectables. We don't do any laser just because of the rules and laws of Jersey, and skincare treatments. So yeah, that's about it.
So Jessica, you've made a reputation for several years now in terms of your quality of lip injections. That's one of the big things.
Mm-hmm.
Someone just looks at you and I think probably just automatically their brain goes to Jessica Rabbit, right? Where, the beautiful red hair and the beautiful lips, right? And it's like the thought goes into that. What specifically is unique about your lip injections, different than, let's say, Pawnta's or different than other injectors?
I mean, I think everybody has their signature technique, right? It's like handwriting, no two people are the same. I think we can copy different techniques, but they're always going to turn out differently. I think my main thing is that I really try to make them as symmetrical and perfect as possible all the time. And I try to do it with the least amount of bleeding and the least amount of pain. So I think one thing that, and I don't use any numbing. Sometimes I'll do a dental block, but even if I don't numb the patients will say that was the most painless experience I've ever had. So I try to just be in tune with the patient, and, if they're struggling, I don't make them struggle more. I want it to be a positive experience, but at the end of the day, I think that you can either, you have the vision or you don't, you have the hands or you don't. And I think that it's a combination of so many factors. But there's a lot of amazing lip injectors, and there's a lot of amazing, facial filler injectors and Botox injectors. So, I think you just have to try to stand out in this industry by doing something maybe a little different, but I don't know if I do anything that different. I think I just, try to do the best I can all the time.
If I put like 5 pictures in front of you, of one of them would be your patient, one of them would be Pawnta's, one of them would be Erica Berry's, one of them would be Dolce Mascarina's, one of them would be, I don't know, Bria Latour. Could you pick out your patient every time if I kept giving you different patients?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, so you can see your own signature. I asked Pawnta the question earlier, and she said the same. She said she would always be able to pick out her own work.
Yes, I definitely think I can pick out my own work 1,000%. I'm like a heavy vermilion border injector. I do think I have like a signature sharpness to my lips. And then, if I'm next to Pawnta's, it's not going to be as good as hers. So I can't do that one. But
No, you're amazing.
Yeah, I definitely think I can. And I could pick out Pawnta's too, for sure.
What, Jessica, what's like, say, number 2, number 3 most popular thing you do outside of lips?
Jawlines. I do a ton of jawlines. And I just, the bread and butter of Botox all day, every day,
Yeah.
Which I think I do that very well too. Honestly, I don't get that many follow-ups or touch-ups, and I tend to underdose a little bit. So I think I'm kind of unique in that way. But
what are a couple of the trends, the Instagram trends, social media trends that are pushing people into you for procedures that you're dealing with currently?
It's always lips, and it's always, they come in younger and younger these days. The filters and all that, people want to look like a filter all the time, and it's not achievable. We know that. It's always lips. It's always, I think that's the main driver. I think we all know that now. It's just everybody wants their lips done. Everybody wants them done well. People can now distinguish between, maybe this injector doesn't have as much experience. I'm going to go pay more and go to this one. There's a lot more information out there. So still number one thing is always lips.
And Pawnta, maybe you can answer to this too, but we're taking it for granted that there are many injectors who do great lips, but I would say that there's very few people that do great lips, right? And like for every one person, like the two of you, there are thousands of people who don't know how to do lips like you guys do. What's limiting, let's say, those newer injectors or those lesser experienced injectors from picking up specifically your skills to do that type of quality? What would they have to do to go from where they are to where you guys are?
I think practice, having a lot of models to practice on. And I feel like no one can really be you, no matter how much they try. Everyone has their own artistic ability. So no matter how many trainings I do, or how many people I show my techniques, they could never have your technique. It's just your signature technique. And I'm sure Jessica will agree with that too, right? We all have our own technique that we use.
Yeah, I agree with that 1,000%. I started injecting 14 years ago. They didn't send trainers to train you. They give you a syringe and they're like, go figure it out. And that's kind of what we did, right? We had to figure it out. So, and I think you're spot on about practice. It's the same thing as like pro athletes, right? Like maybe they're born with a little bit of a natural ability, but like they practice every single day. They do this all day long. They specialize in one thing that they're amazing at. Yes, they're probably great at other sports, but Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods is Tiger Woods. I think there is a little bit of that going on in aesthetics. Like there's people that are just naturally really good at it, and they are given this opportunity where they can do it all day long. They're just going to get even better.
When you both, this is kind of a weird question, but when you both, you've had many students, over the years, can you think of one specific student that was the very best that you both had that, is in the industry actively injecting today?
Yeah, my newest injector, Bevan, I hired her. Yeah, I mean,
She's the very best that you've ever trained?
She's the best I've ever trained. Yes. 1,000% for sure.
Pawnta, do you have anyone in mind?
Yes, I feel like Sarah is really good at Modiki with the lips.
She's an injector at
Yeah,
Modiki
she's an
Med Spa?
injector.
Okay.
And she's been shadowing me, and I've trained her for lips, and she's actually really good with lips. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So final two questions. Now that you guys have set a career for yourself where you're known for lips and you're known for your skills, you're known for your Instagram pages, you have a nice following of patients, money is good, success is good, but where do you go from here? What's the future for you guys? Is there anything specific that you want to develop or grow in terms of your brands? We'll start the first with Jessica.
I go back and forth with that question. I think it's a loaded question a little bit, because part of me loves the success and loves growing the business and loves taking the next step, but I also have 2 little kids, so I'm trying to balance having this business and then also being a mom. So I kind of have to be grateful for what I have, and it's like, how much bigger can I get? I don't know. Is it a second location? Is it franchise? Is it selling off to a venture capitalist? It's all these things that maybe I would consider in the right opportunity in the right moment. But I feel like I've worked really hard to get to this point, and I'm kind of just cruising now, where I just want to enjoy it for a few years. And then I think, we all know if you inject all day long, it gets a little monotonous and you burn out. So I'm going to try at some point to get more into education and, just train more than I do now. Now it's hard for me to train a lot because of the business, but I'm pretty happy with where I am.
How about you, Pawnta?
Yeah, me too. So I have 2 little ones, and I think it's very important to balance. Balance is very important as a working mom. And I feel like over the years, I've built my name as my brand, and it took me 18 years to really build my name in this industry. And I feel like wherever I go, that's why I really don't want to own my own business right now with the little ones, because anywhere around the world I'll go, I'll work with plastic surgeons, and they'll be coming for me with my brand name Pawnta. So I don't really have to own my own place. I could go anywhere and just see patients. And that's what I'm doing right now. And I'm very grateful and blessed to have something like this set up for myself over the years.
Right. I think a lot of women look at both of you, and there's many other examples of this, that you kind of do it all, right? You're like super mom, right? So I see all your vacation pictures and the birthdays and all of that. The husbands that, obviously you have to deal with. And then the med spa that you run every day, and then all the micromanagement of all the people under you, right? I mean, that's not a normal job, right? That's a lot. So I feel like people like you guys, you just have to applaud how you do it, because even me with my practice, I rely a lot on my wife to do a lot of the stuff, and I could just say, please do that while I concentrate on the business. A mom is different. Like, kids want their moms. It's hard to do well. You could be a good mom, but maybe not a good employer, or vice versa. You can't be the best at everything. That's the problem, right? Do you guys find that that's been difficult in your careers? You both are moms of 2, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. So again, it's balance. you can't be good at one thing. You just have to balance everything out. But I feel like I'm the best priority is being a mom. That's number one for me. So I definitely take time because work will always be there no matter what, but kids will grow and you're going to miss every, opportunity there is. So you have to be there for your kids. But I also think giving back to the industry right now, it's time for me to give back a little bit and train. That's why I'm doing all these trainings. Because a lot of people are just, unfortunately, back when I started 18 years ago, it wasn't about money. It was about, if this was my passion. It was about art when I got into it. And Jessica could agree with me that a lot of people are getting into the industry because of money and they think overnight they're going to be successful or artistic. And I just don't think that's the case. So we need more trainers and more people in the industry to train them safe with the right techniques.
Right. I agree with you. I think that training, there's a lot of people training, but they might not necessarily be the right people for training. They've been injecting 2 years and now they're off training,
Yeah.
Which I think is fine for basic things. But like, I think about me when I was injecting after 2 years, it's not even close to what I do now.
No.
So, I think that, I think that giving back to the industry is important because we need this industry to not take a bad turn with all this craziness going on and stay strong and pure. So, yeah.
And humble, be humble.
Right.
And humble. At the end of the day.
There's that concept out there that, we're rock stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, like, we're just maybe like lucky to have a great job and have these patients, and that ego is I definitely becoming a problem with a lot of the injectors in the industry for sure, right?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Well, guys, I'm nearing at the end of the time. So again, I just wanted to thank both of you for participating and being on the show. Jessica, I'm a big fan. I can't wait to see your place in New Jersey. It's incredible. I want to wear a red wig when I get there, like all your videos.
You want to be in my next video?
Yep. And I'm going to make sure also that I'm chewing gum and I'm going to put it under the chair.
God.
Yeah. That she was trying to find the person that was putting the gum under her couch. It was like the whole Instagram was trying to find this person.
Oh God.
And Pawnta, I've been to Beverly Hills now twice and I really appreciate it. At first with Pawnta, she brought me to like a lower level place. And so I know that she actually liked me because then she brought me to the big boy place the next time. So I don't know if I'm at the top of that or not, but I appreciate it. And I appreciate the friendship of both of you. So thank you again for being on the show tonight.
Thank you, Scott.